Hello and welcome back to Stack Cash, where we have another AMA. And some of you all might know, we do these every Saturday. So happy to be back with us and happy to have you guys back on with us. So today is October 21st and first, excuse me. And sorry we're starting a little bit late today, especially to those across the pond and other parts of the world. Apologies, we're getting it together. But we'll still stand true to being available to you guys on Saturdays. And today is our 23rd AMA. So some people like that number 23. So we're happy to have you guys on with us. So today we'll be talking about primarily the Stack Fair launch. Now, a lot of people we've talked at length about our early adopter launch, which is currently underway, and we'll talk more to that in just a moment. Whereas, Stack Hash is the only project or the first project in DeFi history that our pre-sale is based on ownership and not tokens. So you can give that a quick clap. You can stack that up. So everything here with Stack Hash again is based on you being a part of this. We want all users to have an opportunity to be an owner and have a say in the future of the project. So again, we're happy to have you guys with us. And so we'll talk about the Stack Fair launch, which is a week-long process where everyone will be able to get Stack at a cheaper price. And then we'll discuss what the Stack Fair distribution looks like. So the distribution of Stack tokens. And then finally, the time that the Stack token will be available to the public in between the time that we release the cash token products. So we'll go more in depth of that in just a moment. So just for some house cleaning, no matter if you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, wherever, definitely share and tell a friend and tell a friend. But also, if you guys would, please hit that like and leave a comment for us. It helps us in the algorithm. And as a brand new startup project in the DeFi space, we need as much as much help as we can get spreading the word. But then again, we're happy to have you guys with us. So I know a lot of people have been waiting. Like, look, I'm ready to buy the Stack token. I've been muddy. I've been holding my funds. I'm ready. I haven't gotten anything much else. I'm looking forward to the Stack launch. So, as you guys know, Stack Cash is a layer two, and we're starting on the Binance Smart Chain. So, again, you'll be able to, with your USDC and with your BNB, be able to be at the ground floor of a token that not just, is it just a token? And I think a lot of people might get that confused. Like, is this just a regular token? No, it's not a meme coin. It's not a anything like that. So, the Stack token is special, and especially if you want to tell family, friends, about what this project is really about. The easiest way to get them onboarded is to tell them that the Stack token is essentially just like Bitcoin. It's a limited supply and it's also deflationary, but it's even better than Bitcoin because as you hold it, you'll be able to get more of them. So a lot of people in DeFi, as we say, we're for DeFi users, by DeFi users first. Understanding how these projects work. A lot of these projects are based on, getting the token as cheap as you can and then selling it. And then, whatever happens from there happens from there. Well, Stack Cash is all about building community. So we want you guys to be with us as we start to build community and build partnerships with other projects and other parts of the space. It's really important to understand the simplicity of the Stack token. It's in your own user custody, and you can sell it if you want. You can hold it if you want. If you hold it, you'll probably get more. And due to the deflationary tokenomics that's built in with it, you'll be able to get more off each buy and sell of the Stack token. Now, what's better than that? I'm smiling right now because that's just awesome. All right. So let's jump right off into a little house cleaning, and then we can jump directly into the Stack Fair launch and the Stack distribution. Now, I know some have been waiting longer than others. Like, hey, I'm waiting on the Stack token. I'm an owner. I might not even be an owner right now with the NTT. However, the Stack token is what I'm waiting on. I'm excited for it. Well, we got something for you. So let's get it going. All right, what's going on, Little Fish? So Little Fish, one of our board members. I'll check the comment out in just a moment. And I hope you guys are feeling great today. It's always a great day for Stack Cash. I'll tell you that. So I'm feeling good. And also, just some little alpha just for joining us here in this AMA. And first off, remember that you guys can ask us any questions that you want. So feel free to pop on and ask questions. But also, just for a little alpha, the stack token will be released before the end of this month. So before the end of October. So we're still in place with our roadmap. We're still online with the stack token launch. So I just want to explain that. But also, I'll go into more detail in just a moment on everything that the stack token will entail. And also, I do want to say again, Stack Cash is we're more like built like a family, a DeFi family and community. And shout out to Vin and Tina, some board members. You guys are, I know you guys know Vin. Vin is on with me typically every Saturday, but he's suffering, with some medical things right now. So we want to keep him in our thoughts and our minds. This is bigger than just DeFi for us. And hopefully it will be for you as well. But we want to wish Vin the best, and get him and Tina, and for them to get back well soon. Little Fizz say not many projects coming in DeFi at this time. Ooh, good point. Looking forward to what's coming with Stack Cash. I definitely want to be to get a good position at that fair launch. Ooh, good point, Little Fish. Now, I think you bring up some very, very, very valid points. Right now in DeFi, we see a lot of projects from teams that you guys might be familiar with. And one thing, when you have teams that you might be familiar with, you're going to get familiar tactics and familiar things that happen. And safety is always, a big issue. And with Stack Cash here, safety is a big priority. But in the DeFi space, there's not many projects that you can look forward to that you can catch on the ground floor, be an owner in, not just that, have a say in it, and also kind of be along for the ride to catch the stack token as cheap as you possibly can. So Little Bit says, hey man, I want to get that good position at the Stack Fair launch. Great point. That is the best place to get stacked. If you ever want to get stacked, the Stack Fair launch, you'll be in the first bunch of people. Now remember, no board members or no committee members have stack tokens. None of us. So we all have to purchase our stack tokens at the Stack Fair launch. So Littlefish says, I want to be early there. Me too. I can't wait. I can't wait. And again, it's the 21st now. So it's coming out before the end of this month, guys. So stay tuned. And while, there's not many of us here with Stack Cash yet, less is more, so it's plenty of us, in my opinion. But just realize, to be able to have these opportunities come rarely. And to Littlefish's point, in the space, there's not a lot of projects that has taken the time to really think this thing through and think all the tokenomics. We've talked to many devs, and the devs say, hey, this is complex, but it looks like it'll work. That's what they pretty much say across the board. So, that's something that we want to really, really kind of hang our hat on, is being for the DeFi users. And not just that, we understand sometimes in DeFi, it can get monotonous or have the same thing over and over and over, the same type of projects. With Stack Cash, it's so many aspects of this that are different from any other project. The ownership to start, even how the Stack Fair launch and distribution will work. You'll have an opportunity, even if you want to be a team leader, to really jump in here and make an effect, not just on your passive income, but also your family and friends as well. And, I'll talk to some things in just a moment that we're doing to make it easy. But the main thing is looking, in the DeFi space, in the crypto space, and then beyond. So all those family and friends who don't know, they might look at CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko and not have a clue on what to get to begin in crypto. Well, Stack Cash is going to make it very plain. And we're starting with the Stack token, which is going to be the easiest token to understand. That's really, what it comes down to. Hold it and you get more. It doesn't get easier than that in crypto. So, all right. So here is stackcash.community. The website is live. So go check out the stackcash.community website. All of our information is here. And we've went over this in multiple AMAs, but just realize right now the early adopter NTT sale is still open. So you still have an opportunity to be first here as an owner, and then also get tokens to be first in that as well. What opportunity do you typically get to get multiple first? So this is the homepage. And if you want to know, why Stack Cash and some key attributes, you can definitely come here to stackcash.community. If you scroll to the bottom of the homepage, we describe the stack token, cash token, what entities are, and also for those who want to build and bring other people on, and eventually start a team treasury. We have team treasuries as well. Moving right along, if you go to the about, obviously you can learn more about the Stack Cash protocol, and you can kind of see here. We got what is Stack Cash, all of that, but typically how to participate is what most people are going to want to see. We have that available here. Also, if you go to the products page, we'll talk about the early adopter pre-sale in just a moment. But we also have the stack token page, the cash token page, and we also have the NTT page. I just want to make sure everybody can get to it. So the NTT page talks about the ownership ad nauseum. It describes how we're mixing the DAO voting, also with rewards, which our team treasuries, which we'll talk about, is bar none the best in the space. Like nobody has ever done this. This is a first mover for this contract. So the NTT information is there. Also, we have our white paper. If you want to check out our white paper, now we will get a newer version up, so stay tuned for that. And also, we'll get a newer version of the light paper up and roadmap. So all these will be updated soon, and it'll probably just happen. So we'll let you know. But if you want to read up on the project, definitely come here to white paper. You can search all that information. We also have a resources page with everything there. So if you want to find, most of the information here in one place, obviously you can come to the resources page. We have community resources. We have partnerships. If you're interested in a partnership, you can just hit that and talk to us. Also, we'll have all of our smart contracts and audits here, as everything in Stack Cash is open source. So all my new crypto people might not know what that means. That essentially means that it's open to the world. It's not private. So you can have developers or people who understand Solidity can come on and actually read our contracts, all of that good stuff. So, and last but not least, here on resources, we have Connect Your Crypto Wallet. So a lot of people, especially if you're not in crypto or DeFi yet, we want you to come be a part of it. But connecting your crypto wallet is the first step in order to engage with Stack Cash. So we have a specific guide on how you can get your crypto wallet through MetaMask, and then directly interact with Stack Cash and buy your Stack tokens. All right. And last but not least, one thing that's great about Stack Cash is, again, our slogan is for DeFi users, by DeFi users, but essentially we're just for the people. So if you want to contact us, if you want to chat about anything, you have something specific, you can find us here. And also, if you scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see all of our social media links. So feel free to add us on all the social media and, get us in the algorithm, like some things, and, go ahead and add us to all of that. Now, also, one of the best resources you'll ever find with Stack Cash is our link tree. So our link tree has been with us since day one. So here's where you can find pretty much all the information that you'll want to know, especially if you're leading other people. If you want to be a team leader, understanding the link tree is as a resource is key. So at the very top, we have our early adopter pre-sale, which is open now. We'll talk to that in just a moment. And we also have our website here, and it's also at the top. And then we have our information I just spoke to. And then we have the beginner guide to DeFi guide to Stack Cash. So new people can come in. We'll have more links here where they can come and get directly into Stack Cash from their bank accounts. So we'll talk more about that. And also, we have an All About Stack Cash series, which is another first mover for Stack Cash. Nobody's done this. It's have our white paper in video form. And then at the bottom, we have all of our AMAs, and we also have other resources like our Reddit and our Medium articles, which will be updating. So definitely come check us out on all these different aspects of the project. It just really helps to kind of know where things are. Another is social media. As you guys know, social media is essential nowadays. So we keep up with our X. Come check us out on Twitter or X. We have all information here. And then we also have, community members, myself. We obviously have our AMAs up, but we have Doc, Tina, some others, even Nakamoto there. Some current team members that, we love to repost anybody who's talking about Stack Cash. So, just building on the momentum, especially with the Stack Fair launch coming. X is one of the best places you can come to kind of check us out. And if you want to talk to somebody, I always say this about Stack Cash. We're built off a board and committee. So there's not one person leading anything. It's a group of people. So we'll always leave the light on for you. Telegram, Discord, and X is the places that you want to come first to kind of see what's going on with Stack Cash. So, and also, I think we've mentioned this before, and it's also in our link tree. Just shout out to Tina, get better, Tina. But we also have a Reddit page, and you see we're actually growing in people on the Reddit page. So come check us out on Reddit as well. We know Reddit is another social media platform that people use. So we want to be where the people are. So come check us out. Um, we have different things that we've posted on here. That's my video from this week that I posted here, but I got to get logged in. But definitely, if you haven't created a Reddit page or name or things like that, definitely create that and just come on and kind of see what's going on with us. It's another place. Tina does a great job of keeping this updated. And last but not least, he was just on, but Littlefish, one of our board members, does a phenomenal job of writing, doing good write ups on the Stack Cash protocol. So right now he has a Stack Cash launch update. So if you've been with us, some of you guys have been with us for a long time, and we appreciate that. It's been 11 months almost. And Littlefish is one of those board members who's been here since day one. And he does an awesome write-up on Stack Cash, the launch update, and this is kind of what we'll be talking to today. Exactly what will be going on with the Stack launch and what it's doing. A lot of people say, hey, we'll have this launch, we'll have the token out, right? But the dev team gets 90% of the tokens. They own it all, or they're just not clear with what they're doing with funds and things like that. Well, Littlefish does a great job with this write-up. And one thing he explains is what we're having the fair launch for and what the distribution will be kind of built to do. So really quickly, just for a second, I want to kind of scroll through. Now, please go check out Littlefish. Go follow him on Medium, and also go do this read. It's a quick 3-minute read. But if you come on here and look, he talks about the projects, how we are collateralized, which is through our stack token, which is deflationary, and also talk about this stack token primarily, which is really, really cool. And he talks about some other aspects of it. And the main thing here, I want to point out is that he talks about the board and committee entities which were released. So essentially, the early adopter launch is underway. You can still be an early adopter. You want to be an owner. Just like in anything, you don't want to be the one that comes on and has to come later and try to get a crumb. You want to be at the table to get the full meal. So we encourage everybody to be an owner in this project, and that's something I was screaming from the mountaintop. We have to constantly say, hey, be an owner, be an owner, be an owner. Most projects, pretty much all projects in the DeFi space currently don't offer that opportunity. The NTTs, the early adopters, is how you become an owner. But he talks to that here. And he also talks about how it's the funds that are to be used. Now, we have an improvement vault. And this is essentially a board multi-sig vault. We need 5 signatures. So it's nothing short of having a lot of people agree to it, but also making sure we have the best developers and audits before we complete the full launch, which would be the cash token products. So again, just for order clarity, we'll have the Stack Fair launch, which is a week long. Then beyond that, maybe a day or so after, we'll have the stack token distribution. That means the first owners get to get their stack tokens, and all of our protocol treasuries will get their allotted stack tokens. And then you can, buy more, sell them, do whatever you want. It would be a live token, which is a reflect token, where you earn more for holding them in your wallet. And then directly after that, once a certain goal is met, or once the improvement vault gets to a certain size, we'll actually, promote and then release our cash token products, which, as you guys know, the cash token is 1-to-1 with USD, and it also allows you to earn passive income. So it's, basically it's a medium of exchange, and it lets you earn more funds. It makes you earn more. There's nothing clearer than that. And also, here in this Medium article, Littlefish has a really, really good photo from our website, which talks about the NTT early adopter options. So obviously, where you get in matters, and what you get matters for what you buy in with. But again, we have a range of 1,000 to 10,000 to be an early adopter. And that's going to pay you back over time. Now, real quick, and this just kind of came to my head. One thing I want to talk about with the early adopter launch is while everybody's focused on the stack token, and if even if you're an NTT holder, it's highly encouraged that you be a participate in the stack fair launch because you'll get it at its cheapest price. But even if you say, hey, I got 5,000, 1,000, what should I do? This is my opinion. And that's one thing that's great about Stack Cash. We're open to opinions and even positive criticism of the project. We're okay with that. But to me, what I would do is I would get an H board NTT if I could, or even if I had to, I would get a committee NTT. Why would you do that, Muddy? Well, the reason I would do that is because it's going to get you stack tokens, especially at the stack fair distribution, after the distribution. So when the stack token is just live and we're working on the cash token products and releasing those, you'll have the stack token, which will pay you more rewards from all buys and sales, not just through reflections, but also we have a certain percentage allocated to entity holders. Also, even if during the week of the stack fair launch, you say, hey, man, this stack thing looks like it's picking up some steam. I want to get more. Well, you're going to get cheaper stack at the stack fair launch if you're an NTT holder. So owners get cheaper or free, no fee stack at the launch. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. So yeah, so go check out Littlefish. He does a phenomenal job of explaining. He also puts our link tree, the white paper, and some other information and our webpage here. So shout out to Littlefish for that. That's just good stuff. Really, really good stuff. All right. So now let's talk about this launch. So everybody wants to know what's going on, Muddy. What's happening with this launch? When is it going to release? Some people said, "Hey, I wish you guys would push it back even further." I want to save up more to get a good position in the stack token. Well, as you guys know, the stack token is the basis or the crux of the Stack Cash ecosystem. It collateralizes the cash token, but also it has its own intrinsic value. You hold it, you get more. You hold it, you get more. I can't say that enough. It's just really easy, and not only do you get more, we don't like to talk about price, but typically, due to our protocol treasuries and our tokenomics, in most cases, you'll see the stack token going up due to our locked liquidity. Now, what is locked liquidity? It's liquidity that can't be touched by anybody. So it just grows the floor, which typically grows the price. All right. So let's talk first off the early adopter launch. Let me go there first. So with the early adopter launch, it's a reason, anytime I used to hear this back in school, anytime you hear the teacher say something, write this down, take a note of it. It's something important. There's something there. They're saying that for a reason. So the early adopter launch, or the chance to become an owner early, it'll be available throughout these after the stack distribution. So the moment from the stack distribution until the cash token products are released, we'll have the stack token that'll be kind of doing this thing. With that, we're still keeping the early adopter entities available. We're not going to give up on you guys. Some of you guys might be waiting on a paycheck. Some of you guys might be waiting on somebody else. No big deal. We're keeping it available, but it is a limited time. They can sell out. And once they do, we'll give you guys notice. But this is the first step. Now, as we talk about the stack launch today, let me keep this very clear because initially in our white paper, we've kind of had to adapt to make sure that the NTT and the owners get perks along the way. It also stay fair to the entire project. So at the Stack Fair launch, there's a 5% fee on stack tokens that goes directly to the improvement vault, which will obviously get better devs and marketing and audits and all that stuff you guys want in the project. Basically takes care of the project. But the early adopters have a 0% fee on stack. So keep that in mind. Now, the way some people say, hey, man, I'm worried about whales, Muddy. With the NTT holders just own all the stack? No, 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 no. Doesn't work like that. So when it comes to how the Stack Cash protocol works, only 12%, or we'll talk about that in a moment, but only about 12% of the available stack will go to all the participants. So essentially, the protocol treasuries for a reason, are built to always stay the whales. So you don't have to worry about somebody drastically hurting the price. And also, one thing of note is that our protocol treasuries are not built to sell off. So some people, have seen in other projects where, a protocol treasury that essentially is supposed to help the protocol, it has opportunities to sell or be lower, which really kind of hurts the protocol in some ways. Well, we're making sure that our protocol treasuries are what they are. They're going to stay how they are. But again, to be an early adopter, you get a lot of benefits. Primarily, you'll get a say in the protocol. NTTs will be available once we release the cash token. NTTs will always be available. However, they won't be accessible, especially the board NTT won't be available after the launch, and the H-board NTT will have to be achieved. So essentially, you'll have to become a whale to get an H-board NTT after launch. So these two will go away. Also, there'll be no early adopter rewards. So, here we got 250% of your deposit that you'll get back, right? 200% here, 100% here. That won't be an option after the early adopter launch is over with. So I just want to be clear on this is a one-time limited opportunity that we want you guys to take part in. And if you say, hey, your money, I want to try it out first. Cool. Well, you can get a committee NTT to start, and not only will you have that NTT, you'll also get credit as an early adopter in Cashbox and CBC. So these are really, really important, guys, and I just can't emphasize enough the importance of it. And we talked about this last week, but easily what you can do is you can fill out this form, and then you can deposit whatever entity you want, and we'll go through on a later video on exactly what happened in order to check to make sure you got it. But the main thing is you'll be with this whitelisted to get 0% fees at the stack launch. All right, so now let's talk about what we came here for today, the stack launch. Let's do it. Okay, so the Stack Fair launch, remember, it's a week long. So it's 7 days that you have an opportunity to come in and get stacked at the cheapest price that you possibly can. Let's pull it up. Sorry, guys, my screen is moving a little slow. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. It's on the way. Okay. So yeah, so the stack launch is a week long. Why, Muddy? Why is there what is a stack launch and why do you have it? Well, the stack launch is built primarily again to offer everybody at the same time a chance to get stacked at its onset. Most projects have a pre-sale. Most projects allow some users to get their main token at a cheaper rate. And then what generally happens, it leads to, those groups of people wanting to, they always say, oh, I want to take my initial out or make my gains. And the project is pretty much kind of stopped before it can really get started as it should. Well, we're kind of negating that by having the Stack Fair launch and having all the tokens being able to be for sale at the same time. Now, I've always heard like sometimes money, you guys are almost too fair. Whatever, we'll hold that. We'll be fair. Stack Cash, the board committee, and even the way things are ran, like no one person makes a decision. We'll settle for being extra fair. I think the space can use it, and that's what we're here to do. But essentially, talking about the Stack liquidity drive or the Stack Fair launch, we went through this kind of lightly last week, but now's a really good time to talk about it. So this is the next stage up. Early adopter NTTs will be available during this phase as well. A week long, 5% tax on NTT holders. I'm saying on non-NTT holders, and a 0% tax for NTT holders. So it benefits to be an owner with us. Also, if you want to go through it, with the funds, we have an improvement vault that this phase is almost like a fundraiser. It's just helping the project be stronger and stronger. Now, some people might ask, hey, Muddy, where you guys at? How's the devs working now and all that stuff? Well, we're in a position right now where we can really put out the project in its entirety, but we want to do it correctly. We haven't sped through things up until now, and we won't start that now. So the Stack Liquidity Drive, again, it's a week long. And nobody gets it early, nobody gets it cheaper. The cheapest you'll be able to buy it is at this drive. So to be honest, if you want a position in a project, especially a project with many first movers and a lot of proven aspects to it, the Stack Liquidity Drive or the Stack Fair launch is the place to do it. And we'll be promoting this whole week very, very hard that it's open. So you won't want to miss that. That's something that you want to be a part of. Now, a big key to the Stack Liquidity Drive or the Stack Fair launch is, okay, Muddy, what's going on? You guys are raising funds, right? And I'm gonna get tokens. I'm gonna get stack tokens for that. Cool. What's going on? How's the liquidity broken down? Well, most projects, you know, are not, I'll be honest, they don't have this much clarity and this much fairness as far as what's going on with the funds. So to start, we'll have our own Stack Cash decks. So you'll want to come to stackcash.community, and then we'll have a link there where you can go directly to the Stack Fair launch. With that, you'll be using our decks, and we're adding liquidity to the Stack Cash decks first. So 40% of the funds that are raised in the liquidity drive will be going to the Stack USDC liquidity pair in the form of locked liquidity. So once it's there, nobody can touch it. It's there. It can't rug you, nothing like that. Again, with Stack Cash as DeFi users, we know safety is first. So 40% of the funds be going there. And I went over this last week, but I still want to kind of talk through this because today's all about the Stack Fair launch and also the Stack distribution. And then beyond that, we have 30% that's going to the Stack BNB liquidity pair. So with the Stack Fair launch, you can get in with either USDC, BEP20 on Binance Smart Chain, or BNB, also a BEP20 on the Binance Smart Chain. So again, 70% of all of the funds will be going directly to the liquidity pairs, to the locked liquidity that'll be there, for you guys to buy and sell the tokens as you choose. Now, remember I was talking about early adopters and NTTs. I can't emphasize this enough. Immediately after the Stack liquidity drive, 15% of whatever's raised or whatever's fundraised in that Stack liquidity drive will go directly and evenly to early adopters. So again, if you say, hey, I want to be an HBOR NTT holder, I want to be an early adopter. Well, you'll be splitting 15% of the total that's raised at that Stack liquidity drive, and it'll be going directly back to you. So we'll keep tabs on making sure everybody gets their 200%. So that's where that goes directly to. And again, it pays to be a part of Stack Cash early and be an owner. Another portion of the liquidity drive where the funds will be going is to the buyback vault. Now, the Stack buyback vault is controlled by the board. It's basically a wallet where obviously everything is multi-signature. So no one person can rug all the funds or anything like that. But the buyback vault is built essentially to make sure we do two things. One, our protocol treasuries continue to grow. So we have the board treasury, which is part of what the users can be own, basically is with the board entity and the HBoard entity. We have the board treasury and we also have the committee treasury. So those are two major protocols, but they're not being built from the buyback vault. The buyback vault is building our regulator and our generator. Our generator will be always hold over 50% of the total stack in circulation. So simply put, we'll have 100 million stack tokens that will ever be minted. 50 million plus of that will always be in the largest participant, which is the stack generator. The second largest participant is going to be the regulator. The regulator obviously is, once the project is out in full and all the cash token products are out, is going to make sure that the cash token stays collateralized. That's its only job. But until then, the larger that these protocols, the generator and the regulator grows, the essentially less stack that'll be available to buy. So after the stack distribution, there's going to be less and less stack available. And also, we'll talk to this, in just a moment with the fees. But once you buy stack in that time after the distribution between the cash token products, we'll be buying back stack token, and it goes directly to the generator and the regulator. So two things is going on. We're building the protocol treasuries, but the biggest thing, which I didn't say this before, the biggest thing is that, not only just taking stack out of circulation, it's also potentially raising the price. So I'm not going to tell y'all how much. You can do the math for yourself. But it's it's built to make sure that the stack token, especially at the onset when it's initially out, continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. We don't want to stop growth in the price. We understand how important the price is. Now, one thing I'll tell you guys, I can't wait to get in and get my stack too. But with the seeing how the buyback vault will work, where we'll continue to just buy back stacks. So every time someone sells, we'll be buying back stack, buying back stack. That is significant because the price going up is going to bring more people. And we understand that. Not only is the lock liquidity important and all these other aspects, but the price, especially in the DeFi and the crypto space, is essential. So the buyback vault is built to do all these things, but essentially make sure that the protocol is building and growing and taking care of us, the users. And last but not least, breaking down the Stack Fair launch or liquidity drive, 5% would go directly to the improvement wallet. And this goes, guys, to we have current multiple devs. And most teams maybe have one, maybe two people a part of a dev team. Well, we have different personalities. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest, we're very transparent. Not all of our devs, see eye to eye on everything. And that's okay. And that's okay. And most of the time, you need critiques of stuff, especially with the code, especially with the safety. You need different eyes looking at it, right? So we have multiple devs, a few devs that's working on different aspects of the project, but also looking over things collectively. So the improvement vault goes to make sure that they're paid, and that another thing that's important about the improvement vault or wallet is that it does not allow well, I can say it doesn't allow, it doesn't we don't need to continuously pay a dev through the life of a contract. So this has an end date on it. So, once these funds go where they need to go, and we pay for marketing and all the other stuff that you guys want to continue to grow the protocol, this essentially is going to be, not existent. So it's all about, having the project in the people's hands. So just another point there. Also, while I'm talking about this is the Stack Cash AMA. This is our 23rd AMA. Please hit the like. Please interact with us. We enjoy it all. So definitely interact with us and tell us how you feel. Tell us what you think. All right. Let's talk more about the Stack launch and the token distribution. So after the week-long Stack Fair launch, right? We've had 7 days to buy all the stack you can buy to get a great position in the Stack token. All right, we'll get these. The main aspect for us is to, get the distribution where the Stack tokens where they need to be initially, right? And also is to make sure the Stack token is as public and as viewable as possible. That's important. So we'll be getting the Stack token on CoinGecko, excuse me, wherever we can get it in order to make sure that the Stack token is out. Because again, the cash token and its products, to the untrained eye, especially if you're not a DeFi user, you're not familiar with CD contracts and other types of contracts, it might get a little tedious, or not even tedious. It'll get confusing for some people. And we want everybody to keep, to understand what we're doing first. Simplicity. They say keep it easy enough that a fourth grader can understand it. Well, I'll tell you, a first grader or even a kindergartner can understand that if you buy these tokens and you hold them, you get more of them, and it probably will go up in price at some point. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. So our Stack token distribution is the kickstart to essentially having a Stack token. Okay, let me see. We got a comment that say Littlefish says the buyback vault and treasuries is going to add additional volume. Oh, thank you, Littlefish. Definitely forgot about that. Okay, another point. That's a great point that he brings up. A lot of people are concerned about volume, like, oh, who's gonna, where's the outside funds gonna come from, and da 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 da. The buyback vault not only does it do all the things I just stated, I'm glad he said this. It also adds additional volume. So essentially, we're gonna always want to get newer people and newer wallets involved in the product, in the project. However, the protocol itself, when it's fully out, is built to add additional volume without needing so many new people. Additionally, in the moment that we're talking about now, to after the stack tokens are distributed into the cash token products are released, the additional volume will come back from the buyback vault. Now, I'll tell you, if you get popular enough where there's a lot of people buying it, the buyback vault will slow down. It takes its time, and it's also going to be programmed to buy strategically. So if there's a big sale, the buyback vault will try to push that back. But the main thing here, to Littlefish's point, is that it adds additional volume. Great point, because I didn't say that. Good stuff, Littlefish. Good stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the distribution. So again, we've had our, let's say we've finished the stack fair launch. That's over. If you don't have an NTT, that's just a 5% fee. And if you do have an NTT, it's a 0% fee to enter the stack launch and buy at a base level. The stack tokens will be distributed as follows. So this is where the stack tokens go. So 50% of the stack tokens goes directly to the stack generator, the largest and always will be the largest impenetrable whale in the stack cash ecosystem. 20% of the stack tokens, or 20 million of the stack tokens, goes to the regulator. Now, I've said this before, the regulator really helps the cash token when it's out. The larger that the regulator is, and the higher that the stack price is going to help even more with the collateralization when we get to the next steps with the cash token. So security and all that good stuff, the second largest whale or the second largest participant in stack is going to be the regulator. Gets 20 million tokens at the very onset. And remember, the stack generator and the stack regulator will be getting reflections. So early in the early stages with their reflections, they go to essentially to the buyback vault, and they also will go to NTT holders, which I'll talk to more of that in just a second. Another thing is liquidity, right? We've already talked about, how many funds, 70% of the cash funds will be paired with this, the stack tokens, that it'll be 13.7%. So essentially just over 13.5% of the stack tokens will be paired to whatever 70% of the funds are. So, all my smart people, they got their pen and pads out right now. They're kind of taking notes. Essentially what that's saying is that the stack token price, initially have to have it will have a certain price. And due to our protocol treasuries, which helps all of us, and they're not spent off in any other way, it essentially helps the liquidity, basically have more locked liquidity to start, and also adds more value to the stack token. I don't want to say the P word, price, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. So 13% of the stack, so basically 13 million stack will be added to liquidity. Also, another 12.5% goes to the stack fair launch participants. This is key. Getting in early. This won't ever be available again. You won't be able to buy this much off the market when the project is out. The stack fair launch, week long, is really important. And all users will split essentially 12.5% of all the stack tokens on distribution. 2% of distribution goes to build the board treasury. Obviously, another well, especially in it benefits NTT holders. We want to have that out. And 1.2% goes to the committee treasury, another well, and 0.6% goes to start to build the stack cash treasury, which the stack cash treasury, the only thing it exists to do is to feed the other protocol treasuries. So what you can see here is everything here is built in order to make sure that the users and the protocol have the best possible start and outcomes with the stack token. All right. So we've already done our distribution, right? Let's start here. We've had our stack launch. Then we've had our distribution. So you got your stack tokens. You have the locked liquidity. You can go on the stack cash dex and buy or sell as you please. You can also go on the pancake swap. We will add some liquidity as time goes on to the pancake swap dex. However, especially since we're on Binance Smart Chain. However, what you want to do, you're going to get cheaper fees to go ahead and use the stack cash dex to start. And to be honest, along the length of the project, you'll always get cheaper rates by using the stack cash dex. It is what it is. We appreciate family. We want y'all to be family. So the stack cash dex is going to be the easiest place. It's going to be very simple to use. And also I had a good question. With the stack cash dex, I know with the stack fair launch, I need USDC and I need BNB on the Binance Smart Chain, BEP20. After this distribution, will I be able to use USDT or big BTCB? I think that's what it's called, or even Ethereum that's on the Binance Smart Chain, BEP20? And the answer is yes. Anybody can provide liquidity. We will have a true and true DEX. So while the protocol will provide some liquidity, if users want to provide liquidity and buy stack tokens with BNB, no, with BTC, no big deal. If they want to buy it with whatever their favorite token is, as long as the liquidity, you can do that. So the DEX allows us to allow users to basically spend with any token, and we do have an AMM on our DEX. So essentially it's automatic market maker. So it basically keeps the prices stable, so forth and so on. So just wanted to say that. All right. This is the key that I want everybody to understand. It's a fundraising phase, kind of. We'll have early adopter entities. It might sell out. I don't know. But if they don't, they'll still be available through this section before the cash token products are out. It's the stack token and the participants during that phase. So when only the stack token is released, remember the stack token, buy it, hold it, get more of it, probably go up in value. If you have that, this is where all the early magic is made. The stack token alone. We want to put emphasis on how easy it is to hold it, how easy it is to use it. If you wait, say, hey, I'll wait and see what happens, right? And you see, the stack fair launch goes great, the distribution goes great, and then you decide to buy, well, these would be your prices. And I went over this last week, but I do want to go through it again. And we're not going to be too much longer. I just want to make sure everybody understands this. So with stack buys, it's a 12% fee or there's a 10% fee. The key here is we want to encourage team leaders. And what I mean by that, during this stack phase, team leaders will be able to start building a team. So you're essentially a team leader. You can provide your wallet address or your wallet that you want to be a leader with, and you can get people on your team to get a 1%, basically a 1% rebate or 1% kickback from the stack buys. Now, remember, when the stack token is released, this is after the cash token products are released, with the team treasuries and all of that, it's going to work differently. So we're not an MLM. And even here, this is a single level. There's no three layers, 4, 5, 10 layers above me. No. It's just you and a team leader. And we're going to keep it like that. But we want to inspire people to want to talk about Stack Cash, and especially the Stack token, and to get something from it. So as a team leader, if you bring somebody on and they buy stack tokens and they're on your team, you'll get 1%. The buyer, however, takes the biggest advantage of being on a team. We want everybody to be on a team. Once the cash token products are released and we're through this stack phase, you're going to have to be on the team in order to make gains and stack cash. So we want to already start where you can pick a team, and later, if you want, you can change teams. No big deal. That's one of the freedoms of Stack Cash. But for now, you have to pick a team. You should pick a team leader to get cheaper rates. If you have a team leader with a wallet address that you get under, and don't worry, because some people, I don't know anybody. No big deal. We'll have some for you to choose from if you just want to be on a team. No big deal. But it's 10% to buy stack during this phase, and it's also 12% if you do not have a team leader. So that 2% goes a long way, especially with stack being so early. So 3%, if you talk about the 10% side, have a team leader, 3% goes to the buyback stack. So the generator and the regulator. 3% goes to the team leader and to you as a buyer. So basically you get a rebate. 2% goes to all the stack holders. So remember, stack is a reflection token. It pays to hold it because you'll get more of it. And the more you hold, the more you'll get. 1% goes to stack liquidity. Obviously, we want to build our locked liquidity floor. That's key, especially moving into the other parts of the project. And also, again, I can't emphasize enough, the owners, just like in any company or business, get the best benefits. So if you're a board or committee entity early adopter or holder, you'll get 1% of all the stack buys. That's important to understand. It comes directly in value. So if they buy with USDC, the board and committee in certain ways will split that 1% of USDC. So just to keep that clear. Another thing, if you do the 12%, it's just 4% on the buyback, 3% goes to all holders, 3% just more goes to stack liquidity. We appreciate you. 1% goes to the improvement vault. And this is again to get us, better devs and get the project running a little bit smoother. And then also 1% goes to the treasury board and committee entity holders. So again, be on it. You want to pick a wallet address. If you don't have one, we'll have some available that you can choose, but it's just going to be cheaper to be on a team. Some people say, I hate teams, I had bad experiences. Well, let us kind of reignite or restart your thoughts about how teams work. Stack Cash, to be honest, is the fairest DeFi project you're gonna find. We're not a blockchain, we're not a layer one, we're a layer two, and we're proud to be a layer two because again, we get to essentially make sure that all users can take advantage. So this is what the stack buys would be, and the cost would be after the stack distribution. Now, people are gonna say, hey, what about all those people that want to take their gains? They're gonna want to get in and out, and they they might try to dump this thing immediately if they got in the stack for launch. Well, we have some things in place to be able to discourage that. We don't want people to dump the stack token. Now we know it's your tokens; you can do what you want to do. However, if they were to dump them, we have a couple blocks in place. So not only do we have whales within the contract, also users during this phase before the cash token launch or the cash product launch, users can only sell 20% of their total stack every single day. So if you have 100, the first day you can only sell 20 stack. And that's important because again, we don't want abusing, we don't want huge red bars, and we want our buyback vault to be able to maintain and even raise the price early on. So that's important. So there's a 15% fee on all sales during this phase. So if you want to hear it in layman's terms, let me just talk plain to you. During the phase after the stack distribution, where the stack token will be out by itself, it's just best not to sell stack. The more you hold it, the more you're going to get of it. And that's the key. Don't sell it. You won't lose value in it, and you won't have to worry about, oh, the price 10x, 100x. Why did I sell? You don't have to worry about that. So essentially, this time in the stack cash project is built for you to hold and build your stack position. See what I'm saying? It's not built to be a pump and dump. If you try that, the contract and how it's built is kind of going to punish you, and you don't want that. So buy as much stack as you want, but you also want to hold it. And if you're an NTT holder, you get direct funds, and you also get extra stack. We'll talk about that more of that in just a second. But on stack sales, 6% of all sales go to the buyback stack. So immediately will have an impact in a positive way on everybody else that's holding stack. 4% will go to all holders in the form of reflections. We know about that. We get how that works. 3% will go to the improvement vault, which again, this is why we're doing this, in order to make sure that we have the best of the best in the entirety of the project. And then a whopping 2% of all stack sales will go directly to the treasury board and committee entity early adopters or holders. Again, it pays to be an owner. Owners get a percentage on everything that happens during this phase. All right. Last little bit, and I'll let you guys go. We're almost done. Okay. So we've talked about the stack distribution. We talked about the time in between the stack launch and the distribution. Now, let's talk finally, what the more, I would say, the more in-depth portions to being a stack participant during this phase. So, as you guys know, and I'll go through this kind of quickly. As you guys know, the stack total supply is 100 million stack tokens. That's just what it is. The liquidity pairs will add lock liquidity into that so you can easily buy and sell your stack tokens. The stack generator will always hold over 50 million stack tokens, as I said before. But also just to let, because we're a very transparent project. So during this early phase, people might wonder, hey, what's going to happen with the stack generator reflections, right? It's getting the most, like what happens? Well, it holds 75% of its reflections, and another 25%, and this is daily, that the generator reflects. 25% will go to the improvement vault. which essentially helps the project grow and get stronger and stronger, pay for promotion, all that good stuff. Also, the stack generator still rebalances. So this is kind of how the hot dog is made, but I wanted to have you guys understand this. So the stack generator still can't get too large. People might wonder, like, what happens if the stack generator gets too large? It still rebalances. However, from the rebalance, it sells its stack tokens, so it allows users to get more stack tokens as locked liquidity, and 50% goes to the improvement wallet or vault, and 50% goes to the stack liquidity. So again, keeping the concepts of what the stack token is going to be doing with these treasuries is important. Another is the regulator. So the regulator is going to hold 75% of its reflections. Remember, this is built for the cash token when it comes out, but now we just want to grow it and build the value. Whereas 25% goes to the improvement wallet. Also, you know, a balance happens with the regulator. So in this case, the regulator is a little bit differently. Once the project is fully out, the regulator will rebalance in a different way. But for now, when it's if the regulator were to get to be 50% of the size of the generator, it sells 10%, and 5% will go to the improvement wallet, and 5% will go to stack liquidity. So just some different phases. Some of you guys might not be into all that. No big deal. We just make sure that we're clear with everything that happens. Now, here's the big part. Board entity, H-board entity, committee entity, early adopters. All of that, holding an entity. So the board treasury and the committee treasury are going to be out. And there's going to be a lot of ways that you're going to be able to gain from being an NTT holder. So being an owner with you, which, you know what it is? We're actually trying to force you guys to own a part of this. We want you to own this with us. It's a lot of perks to be an owner. So the board treasury, the third largest participant in Stack, and always will be, holds 50% of its reflections every day. 30% of it goes to all the board entity holders equally. So if there's only a few board entity, H board entity holders, um, equally, everybody that's a holder will split 30% of all the reflections every day. Now, in this phase, we want you guys to have Stack when the Stack token is released with the cash products. So we put Stack tokens in escrow. If you don't know what escrow means, it means that you'll be able to redeem it at a later time. So again, NTT holders will just have their NTT, they'll have their Stack, and they'll get this as for being an NTT holder, they get escrowed Stack tokens. 10% of the everyday's reflex from the board treasury will also go directly to stack holders. So this is a big change. I'm sorry, not stack holders, to board NTT holders or H board NTT holders. This is a direct change. So essentially, NTT holders will get more stack from this treasury just for being a NTT holder. Another 10% goes to the NTT board entity cash box plus in escrow. So it's split equally, but you also, if you have an early adopter, you'll get those in escrow as well. But in escrow here, we're adding to your cash box plus the 0.5% per day. That's key. Extra rewards for being an NTT holder. All right. So going down, and I'll leave that alone. So yeah, so if you have any questions on that, now the board treasury also rebalances. It still can't get too large. So when it reaches 15% of the size of the regulator, it sells 5% of its stack tokens, whereas 2.5% goes to USDC directly to board NTT holders and H board NTT holders, be an early adopter, and another 2.5% goes to stack in escrow. So again, these board H board NTT holders will get escrow stack when everything's released. So stack to come. So more stack will be, obviously given in this early phase to the owners. All right. Another thing, I remember I said before, if I had a choice, I would just be an owner. I'll be a committee or board NTT holder because I'll get stacked, and I'll get cash box plus principal in escrow. So I know I'll be getting more to come. So we're still in a very, very early phases. Again, this is just a good opportunity for everybody to come on and make as much as they possibly can through Stack early. Another is the committee entity. So if you just say I'm a committee entity early adopter, I got in muddy, I heard what you said, I know this is where the most value is going to come from. So the committee treasury reflection is going to hold 40% of its reflections, and 20% of it will go to committee entity holders in escrow. So they get that once the cash token products are released. 10% will be going to them directly in Stack. So it's distributed directly. Now remember, we want a lot of people to be in the committee treasury as well as the board treasury, right? But if you're early, the less people, the more percentage you'll be getting essentially from these reflections. So keep that in mind. Another 10% will go to committee entity holders in cash box escrow. So you'll be getting 0.25% a day in cash box later on. And then also 10% goes directly to the regulator and 10% goes to the board treasury. So the committee treasury kind of helps the protocol as well. And the committee treasury also rebalances where, when it reaches 75% of the board treasury, it sells 25% of its total stack, where 15% goes to the improvement wallet, 5% goes to liquidity, and 5% goes to stack committee entity holders in escrow. Whoo, you'll get more stack later. You'll get more stack now. You get more benefits now and later by being an owner. Last but not least, we got the Stack Cash Treasury, which is essentially to help the protocol out. Always be the fifth largest participant. It holds half of its stack reflections, and it's simply put 25% of the Stack Cash Treasury reflections goes to the generator, and 25% goes to the regulator. Kind of typo there. And also, it rebalances when it becomes 100%. So when it gets to be the size of the committee treasury, it rebalances where 50% of it goes of this stack that is sold goes to the improvement wallet, and 50% goes to stack liquidity. All right. Woo! That was a lot, but I hope that was clear, and I hope that you guys clearly understand, the order of events that's going on here with Stack Cash. Also, if you need help, again, Littlefish did a phenomenal job of talking about exactly where we are with the Stack token. So, Muddy, you guys went through what's going to happen in between the Stack distribution and the cash token products. I know you guys want to get the best devs and the best audits and the best promo behind this project, right? I got that. So what do I do today? Well, today, simply put, the easiest thing while we're waiting on the Stack Fair launch, which it will probably be a stealth launch coming out before the month's out. So remember, we only got 10 days left in the month, so it's coming out soon. Become an early adopter. If you have any questions on that, get your ownership first. The owners are going to do better because, again, they're the ones that's kind of catapulting the project earlier on. So you want to get a H-board NTT, a board NTT, which are both limited at a time, or you can also get a committee NTT and get extra value for your committee NTT right now. Now, I don't know what other project can give you more. We're giving you as much as possible. If you say, hey, I just want to buy the token, no big deal. The Stack Fair launch will only be a 5% fee to you if you're not an NTT holder. And it's the cheapest that you'll be able to buy it. It's a reflection token. It's not just a token that you buy and it does nothing, or you have to wait on the price. With the Stack token, you'll be able to get price appreciation along with more tokens. The key to DeFi is us getting more tokens over time. That's what we're here to do. Passive income at its finest. So Stack Cash, thank you guys for joining us. This has been our 23rd AMA. And today we talked all about the Stack Fair launch. And we've also talked about the Stack distribution and what happens with the Stack token when it's released up until the time that we release the cash token products. If you guys have any questions, come check us out on the Telegram. Come check us out on our Linktree. Come check us out on the Discord. Come check us out on Twitter. Come check us out on YouTube. All of these places will be available to you guys. And also, again, if you guys if you have any questions or comments for us, please feel free to leave it in the chat or leave a comment. We'll definitely get back with you. And also remember to hit the like. It's totally free. And we just appreciate any support that we can get. Also, last but not least, you'll see the Stack Cash board members, whether it be myself or others, or maybe even committee members on other places in the DeFi space. So look forward to us talking about the Stack Cash protocol, the fairness of it, and what you'll be able to receive on forums. And also, if you're an influencer and you want to get a head start, right? Come seek us out. We're available. Come talk to us. We'll have opportunities for you if you want to start building your team during the stack, after the stack distribution, and getting the 1% from all of the people that's on your team. Definitely talk to us. We have some things that we like to talk to influencers about. So we definitely would love to have that conversation. All right. So enjoy your Saturdays. Thanks for joining us again. And please look out in the Telegram and on Twitter and on Discord for when the Stack Fair launch will be having. Enjoy your day. Sorry, when the Stack Fair launch will be happening. Enjoy your day.